The anime begins with our protagonist, Yuki Amano, running for his life. No matter where he runs, his classmate Yuno arrives there before him. He enters an elevator to escape from her, but Yuno also arrives there. As she approaches him, Yuki panics and starts wondering where things went wrong. We go back 1 week ago. Yuki is a school student who has zero social life and spends most of his time observing things around him and writing them in his diary. Apart from this, he talks with 2 of his imaginary friends. First is Deus, who is supposedly a god that governs time and space. And the second is Murmur, who is his servant. Just like it, every day he spends his time like this. One day, Deus asks Yuki if he will take part in an interesting game that will fill his life with excitement. Yuki, believing it's an imagination, doesn't give it much of a thought and agrees. The next day, he wakes up and notices there are some weird entries written in his diary about how he will hit double bullseye in 2 minutes, and how he will see the news about a serial killer in 10 minutes. Yuki doesn't recall writing them, but yet again he doesn't give it much of a thought, and begins his day by throwing the dart and hitting the double bullseye. During breakfast, he watches the news about a killer. It's at this moment, Yuki realizes the things in his diary are becoming real. At school, the diary even predicted a surprise quiz and a girl cutting her finger. Yuki begins to panic and talks with Deus, but he soon finds out that Deus is not his imagination, and the game he told is real. Before Yuki leaves, Deus warns him to not break his phone or else he'll die. At first, Yuki was freaking out, but then he realizes as long as he doesn't break it, he can rule his life. And just like anyone, he starts using the diary to achieve top rankings with a perfect score. And when some students become jealous and try to ambush him, he easily avoids them using it. A sudden rush of confidence and excitement starts filling in Yuki. During one of his tests, as Yuki using his diary, he notices a girl named Yuno staring at him. Before Yuki, she was the top student in the class, so Yuki starts wondering if she is also pissed at him for taking the top spot. After school ends, he is in shock to see a doll of Murmur on her desk. Just then, a static noise comes and he checks his phone. In it, he is notified about his death in a few minutes by a serial killer. Yuki is freaking out. Just then, Yuno enters the class and tells him he is soon going to die. Yuki freaks out and starts running for his life. When he is cornered by her, he finally understands she also has a diary. Thinking she is the serial killer, Yuki grabs his dart to attack her, but suddenly, Yuno just kisses him. She shows him the person standing outside as the killer, who also has a diary just like them. Unlike Yuki, Yuno's diary is different. Instead of her, it shows Yuki's future for every 10 minutes, and because of it, she calls it the Diary of Love. Yuki is freaking out to see he has encountered a serious stalker. According to Yuno's diary, Yuki's death is supposed to be on the 14th floor, so instead of going there, they go to the rooftop. After some time, the killer arrives and starts searching for them. As per Yuno's plan, Yuki is hiding and waiting for her signal. Yuno suddenly appears and distracts the killer. Using this opportunity, Yuki uses his dart to destroy the phone. And as warned by Deus, when the phone breaks, the diary owner also dies. After this, Yuki confronts Deus with anger, asking why there are more people with diaries. Deus takes Yuki to a place called the Cathedral, where other diary owners are also present with their identities hidden. With it, Deus explains the survival game. There are a total of 12 owners who possess the future diary. They have been numbered from 1 to 12. As of now, we know the first is Yuki, the second is Yuno, and the third one was the serial killer. The diary itself shows the future, but its characteristic is based on what the owners used to journal in diaries before this game began. The predictions are not absolute. They can be changed as per the owner's action or if another owner takes a different action. In the case of Yuki, he escaped his death when Yuno intervened. The point of this survival game is for them to use their diary to gather information and eliminate the other owners. The one who survives till the end will be granted Deus's throne, meaning, he will become the god of space and time. After knowing the rules, everyone starts to leave, but some of them are looking forward to eliminating Yuki. After all, he is the only one who escaped death and thus, it makes him the biggest threat. But Yuno assures him that she'll protect him no matter who she has to get rid of. The next day at school, Yuki is worried to realize he can have an encounter with any owner at any time. After everyone leaves for the PE class, a girl named Mirai approaches Yuki. She reveals that the serial killer was actually his homeroom teacher, and that's why he is absent today. Yuki is confused as to who she is and why is she saying this. Just then, a static noise comes and Yuki's death is in 3 hours. Yuno comes to protect him, but Mirai dodges and before jumping off, she only says one word, die. Suddenly throughout the floor, bombs start to explode. Fortunately, both Yuki and Yuno are safe. Yuno assures Yuki that he doesn't have to worry about anything because she will kill that woman. Yuki is scared and wonders how a person can talk about killing so easily, but as things go, he doesn't have any option but to use Yuno to escape his death. With the help of their diary, Yuno is easily able to analyze when and where the bomb is going to explode. Outside, Mirai is threatening everyone to stay in their class or she will press the button that will trigger all the bombs. Back in the school, Yuno is worried and wondering about two things. First, why Mirai didn't kill Yuki when she had the chance. And second, why Yuki's death is still fixed at 2:04 p.m. despite they are avoiding the explosions. Outside, the police have arrived and are ready to take down Mirai. But strangely, the police chief, K, issues an order to not kill her. He is also a diary holder, and using it, he knows the moment Miai's heart stops, all the bombs will automatically detonate. Back in the school, Yuno and Yuki reunite with their classmates. But strangely, both of them are caught by them. A few minutes ago, Mirai made a deal with the school that if they captured Yuki and handed him to her, she would disable all the bombs. And that's why Yuki is being taken to her. His phone is taken away from him and kept at a distance. Throughout the ground, there are landmines. With almost everything being done, Mirai threatens everyone to stay in their class or the bomb will trigger and explode. She promises to disable them when she is done with Yuki. Inside the class, Yuno is in a panic. She is determined to protect Yuki, so without any care about anyone, she breaks free and starts running towards him. As a result, the sensors are triggered and the bomb one by one starts to explode. Mirai is confused as to what's happening. And just then, K, the fourth diary owner, comes to Yuki's rescue. His future diary tells him about all the crimes about to happen in the future. He doesn't care about being a god, he just wants to eliminate all the crimes happening in front of his eyes. Just then, Yuno comes breaking through the window. While Mirai is down, with the help of Yuno, Yuki avoids the landmines and takes back his phone. As Mirai is about to trigger the landmines, Yuki comes charging at her holding his dart, but he misses the phone and ends up stabbing in her left eye. With her being cornered, she uses the smoke screen and escapes. Afterwards, K with Yuki and Yuno makes an alliance. In order to stop this stupid game, K needs their diary's help to capture the rest of the diary owners. As of now, 5 diary owners' identities have been disclosed. The first and second are Yuki and Yuno. The third was the serial killer. The fourth is K himself. And the ninth is Mirai. As of now, the school is temporarily closed for a while, so K wants both Yuki and Yuno to spend time in the amusement park and act as bait to lure Mirai. So the following day, as per the plan, both of them arrive at the amusement park. On one side, Yuki is being cautious, but on the other side, Yuno is enjoying it as a date and hoping to get close to Yuki. As they start to spend time together, Yuki starts to realize that the girl he thought was a crazy stalker is just a cute girl who loves him very much. After enjoying most of the things, for the last event, Yuno wants to go to the planetarium, but Yuki refuses and instead, they go to the Ferris wheel. There, Yuno asks him the reason he refused to go to the planetarium when he loves stars so much. Yuki with a scared look asks how did she know it. Yuki has forgotten his first interaction with Yuno, so she recalls the day they had to write about their dream. Both of them had a hard time thinking about it, so they had to stay late in the school. Yuno went up to him and noticed that Yuki wanted to see stars with his parents, but he was unsure about it as his parents recently divorced. So Yuno asked him if he would want to watch the stars with her, but Yuki refused because he only wanted to go with his family. So as a solution, Yuno promised to be his wife, so then, they would see the stars as a family. Hearing this, Yuki wonders how a girl can become so obsessed with such a simple promise. He asks if she is hiding something, but Yuno doesn't answer. She kisses him and says, it's a secret. Afterwards, both of them head home. Upon arriving at Yuno's home, while blushing, she requests him to stay with her for the night. Yuki agrees because K also told him to stay together until Mirai is caught. In the house, there is no other person other than Yuki and Yuno and strangely, the electricity has been cut off. While Yuno is in the kitchen, Yuki uses his diary to search for the toilet. On the way, he comes across a door, about which there's no entry in the diary. Meaning, if Yuki opens it, the future will change. The moment he opens it, every diary owner's future changes and Deus's cathedral starts to fall apart. Inside the room lie 3 dead bodies. Yuno suddenly appears with a scary look, saying he shouldn't have opened it. Yuki panics and starts running. He arrives home, but soon after, Yuno also arrives. She starts heavily knocking on the door, requesting him to open it. Yuki tries calling K about it, but before that, he receives a message from Yuno about whom is he trying to call. It's at this point that Yuki realizes he just can't escape this freak. After a few minutes, he ends up falling asleep. On the other side, Mirai is trying her best to escape from the cops. Using her diary, she knows which route is best. However, the cops are all over the place. Just then, a person approaches her. Mirai looks at her diary, and sees he is the only way for her escape. So she follows him and ends up in a cabin. The mysterious man has covered his face. He provides Mirai with some painkillers. Mirai doesn't sense any threat from him, so she decides to take some rest. However, soon her body starts to go numb, but still, her diary doesn't show any threat. Soon the phone turns into a wooden block, and the mysterious man reveals himself as the 11th diary owner. The scene shifts to the next morning. Kei has come to Yuki's house to pick him up. Yuki, remembering yesterday's incident, tries to tell him, but Yuno comes out of the car and stops him by saying she would get embarrassed if he tells anyone what they did last night. As Yo intended, Kei misinterprets that both of them made love. Without any more delay, they get in the car and Kei reveals that Mirai has been caught by a religious group called Omekada. After arriving, they meet with a worker named Oren who guides them to the priestess, Tsubaki. Strangely, she is inside a wooden cage and is revealed to be the 6th diary owner. Her diary shows all of the things her followers will see or experience in the future. The diary is so powerful that Yuki is freaking out, but Tsubaki assures him that she isn't interested in becoming a god. She is just a priestess who wants to help her followers. Mirai is being kept underground and they are free to take her, but in exchange, Tsubaki wants Yuki to spend the night with her. She is notified about her death, which will happen today. And knowing that Yuki has escaped death 2 times, she wants him to stay and help her in preventing her death. Yuno is against it, but Kei decides Yuki will stay. Yuki doesn't have any dead flag, so if he can stay and prevent Tsubaki's death, then it's a win-win situation. After Kei leaves, Tsubaki warns Yuki to stay away from Yuno because she will destroy his life. It's not written in her diary, it's just her intuition as a woman. As they are talking, Yuno is getting furious to know Tsubaki is badmouthing her, and now she wants to eliminate her existence. Suddenly, the futon inside the cage starts burning, and a lot of followers in a hypnotized state start entering the room and start attacking each other. Yuki tries to save Tsubaki, but Yuno stops him. She warns him that it's a trap, and if he stays any longer, he will die, but Yuki refuses. He will not trust someone who is hiding dead bodies and isn't hesitant to kill anyone. He calls her a freak and proceeds to help Tsubaki. Fortunately soon, the sprinklers start working, and with just one shout from Tsubaki, the followers break free from the hypnotism. Tsubaki thanks Yuki for trying to help her. She opens her diary, and upon carefully reading, finds out a mysterious man who pretended to be her follower is hiding in the shrine. Yuno carrying an axe approaches Tsubaki, but just then, Yuki's future changes and he is about to die in 13 minutes by the followers. Soon, the collapsed followers start rising again. To protect Yuki, Yuno starts eliminating them one by one. She gives her hand and asks him to pick either her and live, or pick Tsubaki and die. Yuki just holds both of their hands and escapes. Kei, who fixed the sprinkler, is filled in about the current situation. He tells them to go towards the main gate where the backup is soon going to arrive. He will meet with them after he finds Mirai. In the shrine's basement, Mirai is tied up. The person who pretended to be Tsubaki's follower is Hirusuka, the 12th diary owner. Just like he hypnotized Mirai into believing she was holding her real phone, similarly, he is also the one who hypnotized the followers. Hirusuka knows the only way to beat Tsubaki's powerful diary is by creating confusion. His diary notifies him about any injustice about to happen in the future. It's similar to that of Kei's diary, but instead of written memos, they are voice memos. It's because Hirusuka is blind. Despite this disability, Hirusuka has developed sharp hearing. Using it, he knows what's happening above, and it's making him frustrated to see other diary users interrupting his plan. Above, as Yuki and others are running away, the followers start coming back to their senses. Tsubaki stops Yuki and suggests to eliminate the intruder, but Yuno had enough. As she approaches Tsubaki to kill her, just then, Yuki receives a call from Kei about Hirusuka coming after them. He also tells them about him being blind and having sharp hearing. Soon after, 5 people calling themselves the 12th diary owner arrive. They warn Yuki about Tsubaki being evil, and this whole religious group being a cult that is involved in many illegal activities. As a person who aims to bring justice, Hirusuka is going to sacrifice himself and eliminate Tsubaki using a bomb. But even after hearing this, Yuno insisting on Yuki to escape. He doesn't believe them and isn't ready to leave Tsubaki behind. With no other choice, Yuno decides to eliminate Hirasaka. Knowing he has sharp hearing, she creates a distraction. The person who reacts to first, she instantly eliminates him. After disposing of the body, the bomb explodes. But by this time Yuno is exhausted. With Hirusuka being eliminated, Tsubaki shows her true colors. She initially planned to get rid of Yuki, Yuno, and Kei at once using Manii as bait, but she never thought Hirusuka would be disguising himself as her follower. She reveals she was never a priestess. Ever since she was a child, she had a bad eyesight. But her parents made her a priestess, and started fooling people into thinking she had god eyes that see the future. And just like they intended, the number of followers started to increase. But after her parents died in an accident, the head servant named Funatsu took over the shrine, and to increase the followers, he started using her as a way for others to release their sins. Despite going through such things every day, she was able to endure such a disgusting world because she had her mother's handmade ball. However, one day the ball just vanished, and now, after what she has gone through, she will become the god and eliminate this world's existence. In front of Yuno, she kisses Yuki to make her suffer, but even after Hirusuka's death, Tsubaki is in shock to see her death is still pending. One by one, Yuno starts taking out the followers and deals a huge damage to Tsubaki's arm. She gives her phone to Yuki, and pushes him to safety. Soon after, she collapses. On the roof, Kei is with Manii. With backup being kept out by the followers, he is in a tight spot. Inside the shrine, Tsubaki has tied up Yuno, and planning to use her as a bait to lure Yuki. Yuki is currently hiding and scolding himself for trusting Tsubaki. He finally realizes Yuno is the one he should have trusted. Even though she is a possessive girl with some dangerous secrets, above everything, she loves him. Just then, an announcement is made. Tsubaki threatens Yuki to come, or else, Yuno will go through the same experience she had to go through. Yuki hears Yuno scream, and is not able to bear it. He sees a ball, and suspects it's the one that was made by Tsubaki's mother. He takes it and rushes to protect Yuno. He throws the ball, and as expected, Tsubaki on seeing her mother's handmade ball after so many years, ends up getting distracted. Using this opportunity, Yuki destroys her diary with his dart. With it, Tsubaki dies. Soon, the police enter the shrine and start taking care of the situation. On the way home, Yuki looks at Yuno and ponders, what exactly is this girl? She lives in a house with dead bodies, but is so obsessed with him, that she will do anything to protect him. He couldn't resist but kiss her. On the other side, surprisingly, Manii isn't arrested because Kei has made a secret deal with her. But that's where the video ends. Let me know in the comments if you want me to cover part 2, and if you enjoyed watching this video, consider liking and subscribing for more like it. Thanks for watching and I hope to see you next time.